Hey everyone, and welcome to another Hungover podcast. This week, we're getting into the hot topic of the summer. What are delicious things that we can enjoy, or delicious things that we can really delve into and sink our teeth into, or just drink to the bottom of the barrel or bottle? My name's Yvonne. Over there,
I'm Julien. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, listening to us on iTunes or SoundCloud, we're available on all three, so you can check us out in video or audio formats. And if you have the time, if you like the things that we're trying to get you to drink, or try some foods that we've prepared to give you a taste in your mind this week, put a little like on that, put a little comment on it saying what you might enjoy. But as we get through, we'll get into it. Julien, anything else on the top of the show?
Tell us in the comment section below. Also, I know there are a lot of other podcast services out there. Tell us if you think iTunes or SoundCloud is not efficient for you, or it's not the one you like to use. Tell us and I'll try. I know there's no fucking chance in hell we'll get on Spotify, but there are a lot of other podcast services out there. I want to know what you guys think are the best ones, and I'll try to get our podcast on it. But Yvonne, we always... Oh my god, this looks stupid. We always... Sorry, the background video. One of them was not... Okay, anyways. We always start our podcast out by asking each other, what media have you been consuming, and what did you drink last night? Yvonne, would you mind answering the questions?
Yes, the prosecutor, sir. So, I've been continuing my streak of watching movies, and yesterday, because my girlfriend is out of the... is off the continent, really. She's in an entirely different continent. I decided, kind of spur of the moment, I would take myself out on a little date.
Nice.
So my shower curtains were in the washer dryer, so I needed to take a shower after I played soccer. So I went all the way outside of Syracuse to my Y where I could shower, and then I was like, well, since I'm out here, I might as well go see a movie. So I decided I was going to go see 47 Meters Down, but I was also hungry. So what to do in this situation? Go and enjoy a meal. So I went to a Chili's because I hadn't been to a Chili's in years.
And also, their didn't you say their business is declining because millennials don't go there anymore? Or
I don't know if I brought this up, but that's an interesting
Chili's
point.
and what's that? Applebee's, right? They're because a lot of people are being a little more health conscious and trying to cook at home. And also saving money that way, their business is going down because they're some of the largest chain restaurants in America. But anyways, how is Chili's? I could imagine
so. Also because chain restaurants just aren't as tasty.
Apparently.
Which I can attest to. I had a guacamole burger.
Whoa. So it had guacamole on it?
It had guacamole
was it
on
a
it.
patty made out of guacamole?
No.
That would be super weird.
It was... I paid the extra $1 more for the grass-fed beef patty, which they didn't ask me how I wanted it cooked. They asked me if I wanted it pink or no pink. Signal one that this isn't going to be the greatest burger in the world.
I hope you don't get
I
sick.
said pink, obviously.
No pink. Please.
And it came.
Yeah, it should be rare.
And it was cooked through solid. I was like, okay.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Not the best, but whatever. Here's the thing. So, pretty quick service. I got my Presidente Margarita right quick, and that was pretty good. The Presidente Margarita.
God.
Best part of the meal, by far. Then I got the burger and this little basket of fries. And I don't know what it was. Maybe it's the oil that the fries are cooked in, but the fries tasted like corn oil, I guess. It was a little weird.
That's weird.
It didn't taste like a potato fry.
No, it tasted like a corn fry.
Yeah.
That is odd. I
guess,
guess, they must be using, what's it called? Something. What's the common corn oil brand?
That's a great question. Whatever it was, the fries were lacking. The burger was okay. Not pink at all, but the guacamole
Mazola.
was decent.
Sorry.
What was it?
Mazola. That's the
Mazola.
common name brand. Anyways, so a lackluster meal is what you're saying.
Lackluster.
Except
Certainly
for that
not as
sweet
delicious as
mark.
the things that we will be talking about in this upcoming podcast. And then to top that all off, I went and watched the movie 47 Meters Down.
How was it?
Bad.
Who's in that movie?
Mandy Moore and a girl named Claire Holt star as two sisters who go to Mexico, and Mandy Moore's character had just got broken up with, and she wanted to create this pure fun persona to post onto her social media to make her ex-boyfriend jealous. Something that we've talked about before, right? The avatar of social media. How it's shaping plots for movies, as generous as the term plot is for this movie. And so they go into the shark tank that's supposed to just dangle like 5 meters below the ship, and the line gets severed, they fall deep into the ocean, and they're stuck 47 meters below the surface.
Good God.
And with these crazy sharks that don't behave like actual sharks, but like really, really, really hunt hard to kill prey all the time.
Huh. So this is sort of a departure from what she's known for, Mandy Moore, right? She's in like Princess Diaries, movies like that.
Was she in Princess Diaries?
She was in Princess Diaries. She was Lana Thomas.
Ooh.
Apparently, I'm looking at her IMDb.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
these
think
things.
that Mandy Moore is
remember.
just kind of picking up roles where she can a lot of the time nowadays.
Yes.
Ever since that Entourage shtick she was doing. But going back into it, this movie was just bad. It was supposed to be a direct-to-video movie, but the production company, whoever was translating it to video, was like, hey, we'll give it a small theatrical release.
Side note, video game related, Mandy Moore voiced Aerith in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, really?
In the English version, obviously.
Check out my playthrough of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, so this movie, no go. Don't go see it.
Don't go see it. It was supposed to be a direct-to-video, and it should have stayed there. There's no reason to go see it in the movie theater. It provided a couple interesting, not interesting, but a couple of good jump scares. And the basic idea of people being trapped below the surface of the water with little to no way to escape to the surface is interesting, but it telegraphed a lot of the plot points. The sharks were super CG and not all that scary in the large scheme of things, and it was super boring a lot of the time. So yeah, it's a no-go. The movie that I do recommend that we talk a lot about is Okja.
Yes,
but
Okja was cool.
What in that vein, what media have you been consuming, and what did you drink last night?
Besides Okja, I watched more Yu Yu Hakusho.
Nice.
Still sort of climbing my way through the Dark Tournament episodes in Yu Yu Hakusho. Great show, go check it out. We've talked about it at length. And I've been playing a lot of Tekken 7. I'm trying to get better because I was super hyped. Last night, EVO is going on this weekend. We're recording this on July 16th. EVO is the basically the biggest fighting game tournament of the year in multiple games. Super Smash Bros. Melee still being played 16 years later on CRT TVs, and it has some of the highest attendance, I think, this year out of any game, which is kind of crazy. And then I stayed up until about 5 a.m. last night watching the top 16. Top 32. Going from top 32 to top 8, and then today, I think at some point they're doing the top 8, but I usually like to watch that in a VOD so I can, in like YouTube. So I tend to miss EVO live because it's such a time commitment. I like to watch a couple matches when I can on YouTube, so it's a lot easier that way. But I did end up staying up really late last night because I was trying to sober up. Because last night I had dinner with my mom, and I had some wine, which was nice. I had some white wine. I had a Pinot Grigio. I can't remember. I wasn't looking at the label, dude. I drank so much last night. Surprisingly not that hungover. And I felt by the time I left, I was like, it's 11 p.m. I should probably just go home and, talk to Yvonne a little, we play Overwatch maybe, and then go to sleep. By the time I got home, I was like, I kind of want another drink. So I, in the dark, in my kitchen, made a Ruski Standard, which we can talk about for our summer delights, which is vodka, seltzer, and usually lime, but I had lemon. But I poured it into this very large glass, like a very large glass. And so I didn't want to have just a little bit on the bottom, so I decided to keep pouring more and more stuff in there. And I ended up filling up about 3/4 of the way. This is like probably a glass that could hold almost an entire large soda. So I decided there was too much seltzer in there, so I poured more vodka. It was bad.
Oh
and
my
then
goodness.
I spent, granted though, Ilan, I spent 2 hours drinking it. I spread it out. I just drank all of it. I didn't want to waste it for some reason. It's just vodka, man. It does, like, you can buy nice expensive vodka. It's not like I did that though. I think all vodka tastes the same, in my opinion.
You're wrong.
I look. It's just distilled so many times. You're really getting any flavor. God damn. All right. But yeah. So I drank a lot I was drinking until 2 a.m. Bad idea. So I wanted to sober up. So I was drinking a lot of water and watching Evo. So that's why I stayed up until 5. But no hangover. Not too much. And then this morning I saw Spider-Man, what's not the new one with Tom Holland, the one with Andrew Garfield?
Spider-Man.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
It was
the
Amazing
Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah, I saw that in Spanish because I went to the local Spanish place to get food in my neighborhood. It was pretty good. Had mole con pollo. It's pretty good. Pretty good meal. But Vaughn,
Yo.
we both saw a movie called Okja, which is a very exciting movie, I think. It was a little weird, but that's how I feel about most movies that I see that are Korean. Yeah, literally, I think I haven't seen a normal one in terms of American standards, I'd say. They are very, very different style of making movies in Korea, or at least the ones that make their way over here that are easily accessible, such as Old Boy. What was the one? Train to Busan. Both really good movies, don't get me wrong. And then now Okja, I just saw. Yvonne, what is this movie about? We wanted to see it so we could talk about it, right?
Right. So yeah, we okay, so this movie was a movie that's directed by the same guy who did Train to Busan,
Yes.
Bong Joon-ho, and it is a film that is centered around ecology, biopharmacology, and that kind of things, and also the story of a little girl and her family pet. So it's combined in this way that there is a crisis on Earth about food. So this miracle pig was discovered in Chile and bred by this bioengineering company who has gone through a recent transition of several different directors. The previous ones were bad for the environment. This one is trying to make a different image for the company. So these 26 or 27 pigs are spread out throughout the world. And in 10 years, they're going to be brought back to the company to be pitted against each other in a competition of which is the best pig, which is judged by a a character that's akin to like a cross between like Steve Irwin and some other kids TV show animal hosts, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, extremely hilariously. And so then during those 10 years, Okja, which is the Korean entry, is raised by this little Korean girl and her grandfather because she lost both of her parents. And we follow kind of the story of what happens when the competition for the Super Pig begins and how the little girl feels about it. And this group of, I guess they're green eco-terrorists, how they're also trying to fight for... ALF, Animal Liberation
for Foundation Front. The ALF.
Yeah,
that's what they're called.
And they're fighting for the rights of animals, kind of like in a more extreme version of PETA.
Yeah, but also without harming anything or anyone.
And their leader's played by Paul Dano, who is a personal favorite actor of mine. This movie just has some really good performances and different things. So that's the basic plot line.
It should be noted that what's the Asian guy's name in The Walking Dead?
No idea. Glenn is the character's name. Right?
Yeah, I know. But the actor is also in this movie. He's on the side of the ALF as well.
Oh, that's who that is?
That's who that was, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I like him a lot. He's actually a very good actor, I think. But he's the only character I like in the Walking Dead series, personally. And I don't like the Walking Dead that much, but I don't really like zombies that much.
They are definitely oversaturated in today's day.
I just feel like this is a tangent. I just feel like the Walking Dead has no end goal. Like, it's just about I realize that's why people like the show. I know it's a lot of people like the show. You guys can like it, it's fine. Just my opinion is it's kind of boring. Just like the same. They're just, now we're gonna try to survive over here. Now we're gonna try to survive over here. Oh, there's a new guy. It doesn't matter though. He killed someone. Okay, that's it. That's how I feel about the show. But that's just me. I don't know. There's no end goal. But yeah, I actually like this movie a lot. It's pretty touching. Even though there is a large CG animal in it that's a super mutant or whatever. I'm not the biggest fan of CG stuff in movies. Actually, this one was done pretty well, though, the CG. The graphics look pretty good, and the characters interact in not awkward ways. Usually when you get a real actor and the CG model interacting, it sort of looks slightly off. In this one, it looked pretty close to what I would assume that interaction would go by. I don't know. But Okja was a lovable character, I thought. I think they gave it pretty good animations to make it lifelike and things like that. You really sort of care for Okja almost right out the bat, really. I connected with that character. And of course we won't spoil anything in the movie, but I really like the girl actress who was in the movie. Pretty much the main character.
Hyun, or Seo Hyun.
Is that the same girl in Train to Busan? I can't remember.
It doesn't look like it.
Okay. Well, she does a lot of running, and I'm impressed that she can run that fast and for that long in such tense situations, because it's pretty awesome. And I also like the grandpa. The grandpa was a funny character as well.
See, I was a fan of I was totally on the side of the grandpa. I felt no empathy for the little girl.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
So you didn't like her?
This is my thing with the movie. I really like the movie. I thought Okja was a super sympathetic character. The CG animal. I mean, animals are cute to begin with, and when they make them super smart, like Okja is portrayed to be, then that's one thing, right?
Right.
But I did not connect with the little girl whatsoever. And maybe I've just lost my childhood innocence, and I can't connect to a little girl connecting with her pet. But this, in my mind, it was like this. this animal was bred to be eaten. Period.
Right.
Like, I don't understand where that got mistranslated. Obviously, the grandpa lied some. So
Yeah, he did.
we didn't. I mean, this is all like in the first 15 minutes of the movie. So not terrible spoilers for the movie. I just never felt a real strong connection to the little girl. But her performance was great. I was really surprised that some actors played such small roles, like Giancarlo Esposito.
I know, right? That's the other famous actor in the movie. He's very famous, I think. But he was cool. I liked his role as well.
I just didn't understand why he was in that role. Like, I don't know. Literally any actor could play that role. It wasn't
I know. They got a lot of,
intense.
and there are a lot of shots in New York City. They spent a lot of money on this movie. There are a lot of shots in Seoul, or at least what I think is Seoul. I've never been to Seoul. And there are definitely a lot of shots in New York City, which is pretty crazy. It seemed like they had a legitimate parade in New York City at some point. In the movie, which seems like that would cost a lot of money. You have to shut down a street in New York City for an entire day, pretty much, and you have to have all these extras and all these things. But yeah, it was definitely a fun movie. Pretty action heavy. I didn't think it would be so action heavy, and then it touches on some animal rights stuff that take it as you will. I don't know. I think is almost making fun of PETA at the same time as supporting them, sorta. So
yeah,
it was good. There was a lot of the funny interstitial stuff as well. It's a worth a shot. It's on Netflix right now.
It's both dramatic and comedic in a way that keeps it balanced, and the pacing is actually quite good.
Yeah,
I never felt super bored with this movie.
No, right, and I honestly, when I read the blurb, because I had to read it again, I was like, do I really want to watch this? I don't know, but it was a good movie. I liked it a lot. And then it was a lot of fun.
Has a lot of really intense running.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise would be proud of this little girl.
This little
Jake Gyllenhaal is spectacularly funny.
He was very funny.
I was not expecting him to play that kind of character, but I think he took it and ran with it.
Yeah,
which was really good.
Also, it should be noted that there's both English and Korean. It's mostly in Korean, I'd say, but there's actually quite a bit of English in the movie as well. So if you don't like subtitles, and you speak English, this movie's more like 50-50. It's probably closer to 50-50 English and Korean. But yeah, I liked it a lot. Thanks for suggesting it, Yvonne. It's on Netflix now. If you have Netflix, I think is it a Netflix original movie?
That is an excellent question. I guess it would be because Netflix bought the distribution rights.
And also, I don't know if you saw it. There is a scene after the credits, just FYI.
Oh, I didn't see the scene after the credits. Oh, you didn't see it?
Okay. There's a scene after the credits. Obviously, I won't spoil it or anything. But just if you make it to the credits and just end the movie, there's also a scene after the credits. But that's about it on Okja, I think, unless you have anything else to say, Yvonne.
I highly recommend this film.
Yeah,
it's also a Plan B entertainment film, so it's a Brad Pitt produced film.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's always fun to see who's supporting or funding films and things like that, and then how you think about or then you might notice some certain things that person would influence, I'd say, I guess, in the movie. But Yvonne, I think we should move on to the topic of the show. Of course, the topic of the show is our top 5 summer delights. We're coming at you with all the food, all the alcohol you can drink for summertime, summer influenced. Yvonne, I think a good place to start is with the jalapeno margarita. What about you? I think this is a really, obviously margaritas, they're great. You can't go wrong with a margarita, I don't think. Well, if it has too much sugar in it, you can go wrong. So you wanna definitely ease up on the sugar. I think you really want the flavors of the jalapeno to come through here. The way I would make it, the easiest way to make one of these is to buy a jalapeno flavored tequila. But if you want to go a step further and be fancier for your guests, your summer guests, you can infuse by probably buying a bunch of jalapenos, chopping them up, and then soaking them in tequila. And I think you could use these jalapenos for garnishing as well. So obviously a margarita involves lime juice and a little bit of triple sec and obviously tequila, and you want to have a salted rimmed glass as well. And
For
the
sure.
combination of those flavors is basically it's bliss, man. It's so good.
I might also recommend garnishing it with a cucumber for something cooling.
Yeah, cucumber is very nice, and I think it would go well in the margarita as well once it soaks up some of the flavors of it. I think I would pair this with almost anything from a greasy burger to something spicy like a taco. Well, if you have spicy taco. some carnitas, that would be pretty good. Some refried beans maybe, I don't know. Rice and beans.
There's
I'm getting
also
hungry.
a few different options that you can do for making it. So if you want to change it up a bit, a mango jalapeno margarita, I think is a good expansion, or possibly a coconut. Now we've noticed, both of Julien and I have noticed, that coconut is making a big push this summer to become
absolutely.
the premier flavor of the summer.
I think it stands a chance, Yvonne. It stands a chance. Margaritas are usually a standard staple, but the coconut drinks are coming in. Anything to do with coconut is now exotic. And of course, everyone's been buying all this Vita Coco water. You know, you gotta hydrate. It's pretty good stuff, all right? I'll allow it. It's definitely really good at getting rid of your hangover. If you're ever hungover,
It might be the best thing to get rid of
it
the
might be
hangover.
the best thing in the world. If you're hungover right now listening to this podcast, stop or continue listening, but go to your local store, pick up some Vita Coco water and chug it now, because good God, it will be gone in an hour. Your hangover, but
Especially if
yeah,
you work
but you
out.
oh God, yeah, it's really good for that. But you don't want to use coconut water for your drink. Well, I mean, you can. I honestly don't think coconut water tastes weird to me, but cream of coconut, that's where it's at. You get the coconut flavor in some cream and a lot of sugar, and it's really delicious. But for the life of me, Yvonne, I have no idea how to make a pina colada. Do you know?
I have tried before. So once I tried to make a pina colada with not pineapple juice but actual pineapple chunks. I kind of
Yes.
blended it up in there. I still think I got kind of like that thick curdling kind of thing that
Oh,
you're
yeah,
afraid
that's-
of. I don't think I got too much
I'm
curdling.
not afraid of
actually.
it. It's just weird texture.
Yeah, it's a texture thing for sure.
It's definitely a texture thing.
The
But yeah, pina colada.
alternative that I've come up with on a personal note is the
Yeah.
Skinny Girl Pina Colada.
Okay.
And that is, I take my soda stream, I got myself some coconut and pineapple syrup. So I
Oh, yeah.
pop, and then I pour the syrup in, and then I just dump a little bit of rum into a glass, dump a bit of this seltzer in there, and that's a skinny pina colada.
I
Because
tell you,
it's
that
like 10
sounds
grams of
pretty good.
sugar and all the alcohol, but yeah.
I feel like that would be pretty good. I feel like also I feel like the coconut water with some rum wouldn't and maybe splash of pineapple juice, that might do the trick as well. If you can get if you can get some simple syrup in there as well, I think that wouldn't be too bad.
Let me
Get
blow your mind.
yourself- All right.
Take the coconut water and make that into a simple syrup.
Oh my God, he's He's too good. Oh my god. No, not this, not like this.
So
Not
for
like
simple
this.
syrup, when you're making
There
it, it's
goes my
basically
liver.
I usually do kind of a 1-to-1 combination of water to sugar.
Yeah,
So
that
like
is
a
pretty
cup to a
standard.
cup. So take a cup of coconut water, a cup of sugar, put that together, and then you can also play off of that. For instance, if I was to make myself my first cocktail choice of my favorite thing for the
Yeah.
summer, I would do a mint infused simple syrup.
Okay.
So I would take a ton of mint, like
Alright.
maybe 3 tablespoons or more of fresh mint. Um, it's really up to you of how minty you want this syrup to be. So you do your boiled water, your sugar together, and then as it cools down a little bit, you throw in the mint. So the mint is getting kind of infused into the simple syrup, not during the boiling process, but a bit after in the cooling process, after you're
Yeah,
waiting
yeah.
for the simple syrup to cool. So it doesn't burn through the mint, but it just gives it a nice intense mint flavor. And then what I would do is I would take your lime wedges, you muddle that up, or you just get your little bit of lime. You take your mint simple syrup, you put that together. You put a little white rum in there,
Okay.
and we're almost there.
I'm there.
Here's the trick. We're gonna take a dry sparkling wine, something like a nice
Ooh.
chilled cava,
Okay.
and we're gonna pour that in there for the rest of the drink. And that, my friends, is what I dub the Hemingway mojito.
Oh, that sounds really good. I would
So
love one of those. Now, Yvonne, for those people who are maybe getting ready, revving up, it is the middle of July, of course, revving up for those summer parties. Maybe you're throwing one and you want to buy a bunch of alcohol and things like that, and you want to run the bar for your friends and for your family and things like that. What do you suggest? The basic layout of your bar. What should you buy? What alcohol should you buy? And what sort of drinks are easy to make? You want to accommodate everyone's flavors, but you also want to make them quickly, right? Because everyone's got to have a drink in their hands to make it a party. You know what I
that's
mean?
true. That's true.
So, Yvonne,
And
what do
we
you
are
suggest?
pretty much experts at this, having
Oh, yeah.
established it during even our college days. The party express that was our home with the cocktail
Yeah,
making
what can
and the
I
dinner
say?
making.
Oh, absolutely.
So a standard bar setup, you're gonna have a few bottles of standard alcohol that you should have on hand as a bar, and then
Yeah.
a few so liqueurs or other things. So I would say for a bar setup, vodka, gin, a tequila. Now here's where you run into some trouble with the rum portion. I prefer white rum. Other people prefer
For
spiced rum.
drinks. I think for drinks, in the summer, just get the white rum.
I agree. So in the summer, I would switch to a white rum. In the winter, I might go more of a spiced rum because you might get yourself a hot toddy with some rum instead of whiskey if you prefer it that way.
Do you
some
have
dark and
any
stormies.
suggestions on the brands that they should buy?
Definitely vodka. I would either go Ruski Standard, Ruski Standard.
Ruski Standard.
It is my standard vodka.
It is the Russian standard, Yvonne.
Yeah.
All right? That is
For-
the name of the vodka, seriously. Russian standard. Just get that one.
For gin, I know we prefer Hendrix.
It can be a little more pricey, however, and if you're trying to save a quick buck, I think for gin you should go. What's the Tanqueray? Tanqueray is not it's not going to break the bank, and it's pretty decent, I think.
In a pinch, I think New Amsterdam works as well.
New Amsterdam as well. I think
So if
they're
you're
comparable.
doing a large party where a bunch of people are going to be drinking, the quality of the drinks don't have to be top tier. New
Yeah,
Amsterdam
not
is
at
great. The reason that we like Hendrix is because of the flavor profile of the gin. Gin is the place where gin is one of the liquors where you're going to want to really taste a bunch of different things because it has some of the widest variety of tasting notes that you'll have in a clear liquor because of the
Aromatic.
certain blend of herbacity, juniper berries and different things that people infuse the gin with. So gin is basically vodka with herbals.
And flowers and floral notes and things
exactly.
like that.
So everything is going to be different. So for Hendrix, you want to explain why we prefer Hendrix?
It's got a lot of juniper berry flavor on the initially, both with aroma and also on the initial flavor profile that comes in your mouth, and then it's very smooth also as well. And as far as gins go, gins are usually a little harsher, and that's probably why people don't like them that much. But it's actually a pretty smooth gin. I have actually had it straight. No one drinks gin straight. Don't drink gin straight. But I have had it straight, and I liked it. Okay? It's pretty good.
An alternative of about maybe slightly cheaper, about the same price range, but something that's quite different in my opinion is the French Citadel gin.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's
I've had that with you.
It's got
college.
a ton more herbal notes to it as opposed to
cool
the juniper heavy. Yeah, it's this tall blue bottle, got chip on the label. That's a nice alternative. And then you can have something that's completely different. Like there's a small, I think it's a winery distillery up here in upstate New York called Myers Farm. And they make a gin that is totally different from anything else that you're going to taste. And people who, like my girlfriend doesn't like gin that much, but she'll drink this gin because of the specific blend and tasting notes that occur from this gin. So I really recommend just trying a bunch. If you're doing cheap alcohol, New Amsterdam is fine. If you're going to invest a bit more, Hendrix is the way to go. And tequila is always Patron for me, but that's just a personal choice.
And now, of course, Yvonne, you've covered a bunch of clear liquors. I think you should get one dark liquor is good to have, is always get some bourbon. I think bourbon is really great in the summertime. You can also obviously have it in the wintertime. Bourbon's just all around year. I will drink bourbon. But I think it really goes well with barbecue, just either neat or in a drink. Now, Yvonne, I want to give a good shout out to this drink. This is one of my favorite drinks to make. It takes a little bit more preparation. And also, you said you should make a simple syrup. You should prepare a simple syrup ahead of time if you're going to be making some drinks. I think simple syrup is a really good way to, easy way to make drinks, or easy component to make in a lot of drinks. So basically, you want to do 1 to 1.
It's necessary in a lot of different cocktails.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have a cocktail heavy night, then simple syrup is just an easy thing to have on hand. Literally every bar in the world has simple syrup
Right,
on
so
hand.
make a bottle of it 1 to 1 water to sugar. It's a simple recipe to remember. You don't even have to write it down. But this drink, Yvonne, calls for strawberries, calls for bourbon, calls for lemon, calls for ginger beer. This is one of my favorite drinks in the summertime because you can get strawberries readily and fresh. You want to muddle some strawberries, so crush them up. Get the juice in the bottom of your jigger or your shaker. You put a shot of bourbon in there. If you're, like me, put 2. And then you want to put half a shot of lemon juice in there as well. Shake it up. Give it a go, and pour it over ice, and then top it off with some ginger beer. It's really nice flavor profile. You get your bourbon in there, some vanilla notes, some smoky notes sometimes. You get your lemon to cut everything in half with the acidity, cutting the sugar from the ginger beer, but you're also getting the spice of the ginger and the sugar from the strawberry. It's really nice drink. I think it's sort of like strawberry lemonade, but with bourbon.
Yeah,
but
you get some sugar from the bourbon too, because the bourbon is a sweeter whiskey. So bourbon is a again, for those who might want to know, bourbon being a sweeter whiskey type. There are several other whiskeys or whiskey analogous things like I would claim that Irish whiskey and bourbon are in the same family, but different levels of the grains used in them and different processes to make them. So bourbon is a very corn-heavy whiskey, which makes it a bit sweeter and easier to palate for a lot of people. So that's a great way to blend in some of those sweet flavors, cut it with the acidity, and have the alcohol that's in there kind of really fill out the profile of the drink.
Yeah, that's a really balanced drink, I think. And then, so the things that you want for your bar, you want gin, vodka, white rum, bourbon, let's say. So those are 4 things you can buy. Obviously, beer, pick your beer.
I like tequila in the summer, too. It's a good one.
Tequila, sorry, I forgot. And then you want a simple syrup, and I would cut up a bag of limes and then have some lemon juice on the side as well. And then whatever mixers you want, you can have some sodas. I like ginger beer the most, but a lot of people like Coke, obviously, and Sprite and things like that. So pick up one of those and then get a bunch of ice. I think that's a solid place to start.
Ice is key.
And ice is definitely key. And then Solo cups. Come on.
The other thing that you might want to have, the liqueurs, the standard ones to have are like a triple sec and maybe a dry and sweet vermouth. The dry and sweet vermouth are like $3 each, basically. Triple sec maybe up to 6
Depends
or 7.
where you're buying them or what you're buying. But yes.
So those are the cheaper liquors that you don't drink straight or whatever, but they are nice complements and the basis of a lot of cocktails. So
yeah. So Yvonne, we've talked a lot about alcohol. I mean, this is called Hungover Podcast. Come on, of course we're talking about alcohol. But you and I love to cook and eat as well. What are some of your summer meals that you would like to eat that could maybe complement one of these cocktails that you're making at the party?
So we all love a nice
shrimp
grilled food during the summer. I'll get to my shrimp in a while. So I love burgers year round. It's one of my top food groups.
Burgers are great. I wish I could eat burgers all the time.
It'd
just be amazing.
Do eat burgers all the time.
Wait, I don't wish. I do.
Yeah. I've noticed my consumption of ground beef has skyrocketed ever since I kind of indulged in a burger the other day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But so I enjoy a burger, and we all want to stay healthy. So I recommend a turkey burger.
Yeah, nice. What do you put in the turkey burger patty, Yvonne?
Lamb and beef.
No turkey.
Because I'm not talking about a turkey burger. I'm talking about the country, Turkey.
Very good. Very good.
So I recommend something that's a little bit different, off the beaten path from what you're usually going to eat, so that the burger itself is going to be infused with a lot of the flavors that you're going to come out with. So rather than just going with a good old 100% ground beef patty, we're going to put a lot of time developing the burger's flavors with some spices and different things. So for my turkey burger, I use a combo of lamb and beef. You can also sub pork. I really like to use lamb. If the people that you're having with don't like lamb, you can pass on that as well. But I prefer lamb, beef mixture, or lamb pork mixture. Then you're going to really finely dice red onion. Like half of one should be good, or it depends on how much meat you're putting in, obviously. But so some red onion, some garlic. Then you put in some cumin, some paprika, or some like red chili powder, basically.
Oh yeah, the smoked, usually paprika. You want to get smoked paprika.
Yeah,
the hot paprika is very good.
I like that Hungarian style.
Yeah, the Hungarian one.
So you can do some dried mint as well, but the main thing that we're going to be putting into the turkey burger, other than the lamb and beef, is parsley. This is what's going to make it have a unique flavor. And it's a really traditional herb that's put into kufta burgers, or kufta in Turkey. So this is kind of like my take on the kufta, but in burger form. Mm-hmm. And then mix it with some egg and some breadcrumbs if you want, but you don't necessarily need to. Just make it so that it sticks together. Grill that bad boy, put it on your patty. And here's where we have the secondary pièce de résistance. So you're going to cut it with some Greek yogurt mixed with some of that paprika, garlic powder, and maybe a little bit of salt in there as well. And you're gonna bring that to a consistency where you can put it on top of the burger, and it gives it a nice smoky, garlicky, like almost not tzatziki in particular, but it has that same consistency with that Greek yogurt. Full fat Greek yogurt is the best to use, by the way. And
Sounds good.
And so it has some of the heat with that those hot powders and peppers or whatever you want to put in there, and then the yogurt helps cut that through, but it also doesn't feel too heavy, and it's great to pair with whatever you're doing on the side with like fries or anything, or some. I like asparagus on the side instead of fries.
I feel like you could also put either like a nice garlic hummus or a nice baba ganoush on the
Hey,
as well.
some baba ganoush.
Hey,
Yeah?
baba ganoush! Yay!
Yeah, that would work too.
I think that would be really
anything
good as
to
well.
balance that. Baba ganoush is probably the lighter caloric side of the thing because it's just eggplant. But
I love eggplant.
I like the Greek yogurt flavor because it also has some of the acidity from the yogurt.
Yes, that is nice as well. That sounds really good, Yvonne. I think that we can sort of talk about other things that we could have. Maybe a little fish. You know, you gotta have your meat. You got your red meat, but fish is also an option that a lot of people don't necessarily bring to their barbecue or anything like that. Do you have?
Fish is so finicky.
It's tough to grill. Then maybe that's why.
It's also tough to decide, is frozen fish worth eating?
I think a lot of the fish that we eat anyways has been frozen at one point by just through travel, but because they have to freeze it to when you get fish from a faraway place, it's most likely frozen anyways. I think for sure all the shrimp that we eat has been frozen at some point.
Yeah, but that's a bug. It's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. No, I'm not saying it matters. So I think, and then also I think, if you have sushi, they have to, like, freeze the fish just to kill a lot of the bacteria in it. I'm not sure. I think I heard that once, but I don't. Buying a frozen, I don't think I mean, when I buy fish, I'm buying it from the Chinese guy in my Asian supermarket that literally just killed the fish. So, and then they put it out on the ice, and it still has some blood sometimes. But but some people don't have access to such a market. So if your only option is frozen fish, I think it's best to go with salmon, I would say. But it's honestly, I might skip it if that's your only option. I would like to go for because usually when you buy the frozen fish, they're usually really thin fillets of fish, because they're actually usually tilapia that you can buy frozen. But I really like maybe something thicker, a thicker cut of fish, either salmon, tuna, or swordfish.
What about some cod?
Really good.
Throw some cod.
Cod.
In there.
It would be very difficult to grill cod because cod, once
Flakes.
it gets cooked, is really flaky. If you're gonna be grilling a fish, it has to be a little more substantial. Even tuna, because tuna dries out very quickly. So you really want to just sear tuna. But swordfish has a little more meat on it. I think swordfish might be the easiest one of those that I mentioned to grill. And then salmon as well can be grilled easily as well. But I think it might even be best to wrap your fish in foil with all with marinade that we'll get to, and maybe some lemon in there as well.
Nice.
And then just put that on the outside of your grill and sort of let it cook through residual heat. I think that might be the best way. Because that way you don't even have to worry about flipping it or anything.
Interesting.
I think that might be a good way to cook.
So what do you wrap it in? Like a parchment paper or something?
Well, you
a
can.
banana leaf?
You can do that. Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, the easiest thing to wrap it in would be foil.
Okay.
Foil, aluminum foil. But so parchment paper, you would have to keep on very low heat. on your grill. I don't know if you can put parchment grapefruit on a grill, but you can put it in the oven. So if you want to have a nice, fresh, really clean tasting fish, way to cook your fish, the French cook it. I don't know the name of this meal, but it's I think it translates to like pocket fish or something. They wrap the fish in a parchment paper, and it's usually a white fish, either sea bass or something like that. And they'll put things like green onion, thinly sliced, and or just onion, and garlic, and some lemon as well, and a little bit of wine, white wine usually, and they'll seal it up really tightly, and they'll throw that into the oven for maybe, depending on the size of your cut of fish, maybe 15 minutes at probably 350 degrees. And so that will cook the fish, and what ends up happening is some of the liquid comes out from the fish, and it starts boiling, and it sort of steams your fish, and you get a really clean tasting meal that's really nice with some rice or something like that, or a potato. Yellow Yukon Gold. I like Yukon Gold potatoes. But yeah, so that's a really clean way to cook your fish. And you can make individual ones and just throw them in on a tray or something. Be good. Easy to cook. But grilling, I think swordfish with a nice teriyaki glaze on it wouldn't be bad. Little soy sauce, ginger, garlic, sugar. But yeah, how do you usually cook fish when you, Vaughn, in general?
So in general, I'd say, so usually I'm cooking, because I'm not on the coast like some people. I buy a lot of salmon, and I'll take a whole salmon, like a fillet, so with the skin on and everything.
I love the skin.
I'll put some butter and maybe and cut up some fresh dill.
Yeah.
And then I'll take maybe half because the fillet I get is usually sizable.
Oh, you get the large one.
Yeah, nice. I get the large one. And so I'll do
I would
half
eat
a
that
stick,
in one sitting.
Half a stick or less of butter, a ton of dill, fresh cut up.
Yeah.
Put that in the oven for about 400 at about 400 or a little hotter. And then wait for that butter to start sizzling. Then I put the fillet skin down.
Yes.
And I cook that for about no more than 4 to 5 minutes on that side. I'll take it out. I'll flip it. If I'm with people who don't enjoy the skin, I'll rip the skin off, because at that point the skin comes off super easily.
Skins, don't eat with those people. They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, the skin is the best part. Then I'll cook that side about the same amount of time, 4 to 5 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, because it is a thicker piece, so that it has this nice herbal butter that is coating it on both sides, and it gets cooked through. Put a little bit of lemon on after it comes out.
Oh yeah.
If I'm feeling real fancy with it, I might stick it in under the broiler for about 30 seconds to get that skin as crispy as I can get it.
Yes.
And yeah, that's my preferred way of eating fish.
That sounds great.
And when cooking at home, because it's simple, it's like 10 minutes and you're done.
No, yeah, fish is pretty simple to cook. I think maybe some people get a little intimidated, or they don't actually like fish because maybe they've always had it overcooked. So fish cooks very quickly. Actually, all fish is cooked very quickly, and usually I think a good rule of thumb is you can eat fish undercooked. Don't worry. Honestly, you're going to be fine. If you see a little bit of raw fish, you're fine.
I prefer my salmon a little undercooked.
Yeah, I like it. And in fact, a good way to eat tuna is just seared on the outside. You don't even cook the inside. But yeah, just generally with seafood, I think if you think it's done cooking, it's probably overcooked, actually, I think. But so you want to take it out a little sooner than you might think, and just don't be intimidated. It's fairly simple to cook. But yeah, so Yvonne, we've been talking about fish. I think you have a good alternative to just fish if you don't like like a fillet of fish, but you like maybe some shellfish, Yvonne, you have a very nice meal that is also very simple to make, I think.
It's super simple. You go to your local store. For me, it's Wegmans.
Yes,
you go
Wegmans
into
is
their
great.
frozen section. You pick out a bag of shrimp that you think you can be eaten. Usually pre-cooked. You take it home. You let it thaw.
And you eat it.
If you're feeling real fancy with it, you take some ketchup or some tomato paste with a few other things, and you put some horseradish in that bad boy.
Oh, yeah.
And you make yourself some cocktail sauce. And you dip your shrimp bad boys in there. You eat them up. Now, the important thing is, this is just about the protein.
Gotta eat it outside too.
Absolutely outside. You gotta cut that through with some beer. I recommend a Pilsner.
Okay. So we've moved on to the summer beer section of the podcast. What is your favorite Pilsner in general? What is your favorite Pilsner to pair with shrimp?
I go prawns? Classic. I go Pilsner Urquell.
Urquell is very delicious. I do like that taste. It's very crisp. Still got that, still a little bit of hops in there.
Definitely got that musky sweat smell to it.
Oh, yeah. I think the only times I've ever had Pilsner Urquell is in a very sweaty situation.
Well,
I was in a gallery. It was really hot out, and they didn't have much AC going on, but they're giving me free beer that was ice. It was on ice. So
nice.
So it was cold, the only cold thing I had. But it was really good, obviously. It's a refreshing beer.
Yeah, I would go with something that has a crispness or a bite to it. So some Urquell Pilsner or something like a nice sour beer would be cool.
Uh-huh. Oh, I have a good suggestion that's just coming out. You can buy them in smaller bottles now. A good sour beer, it is a little bit more on the pricey side, but you also get compromised because you're getting a higher alcohol content and obviously a good beer. Sour Monkey from Victory Brewery. Very good beer to have in the summertime. It's really refreshing. If you don't like this beer, it's a sour beer for sure. So yes, it is sour, but it's not overpoweringly sour. It's very nice, I think. I think you had some of it while you were here because my girlfriend really likes this beer. But my overall go-to choice for a summer beer, honestly, is just Brooklyn Summer Ale. I think
it's a good one.
It's a very, very crisp beer, perfect for the summertime. Hanging out with the boys, crack one open, lay back, relax, have your beer. I think it's good with most meals as well. It's pretty tasty. Most meals you would have in the summer, like your shrimp, just shrimp. I think it would go pretty well with just shrimp.
That's a simple protein-filled meal. It's good. Don't have it every meal because you'll die because you don't get enough vitamins. But once in a while, it's great.
Oh man, Yvonne, I've got one more suggestion, or I've got two more suggestions here. I think you definitely need some vegetables in your body. It's just gonna have to happen. So, why not have a salad? A nice summer salad, Yvonne. All right, here. Let me lay it out.
I'm skeptical.
You're skeptical. You have
salads. Who eats salads?
I love salads actually because you make it right. You're having a good time. Look, you get a nice bag of arugula. All right, you make a simple vinaigrette. How do you make a vinaigrette? Very simple. You chop up some garlic, or you could grate it. There are garlic zesters nowadays. I have one. It's very useful. If you zest the garlic, you're going to end up getting it. It releases some of the juices within the garlic a lot better than just chopping it, and so you end up getting a really spicy kick from the garlic.
What about a garlic press?
So, garlic press would do the same thing, I think, but they're kind of harder to clean. So I like to cook with as few tools that are easy to clean as possible. So you're gonna I usually grate 1 clove of garlic or chop it up really nice, and then use some Dijon mustard, Grey Poupon, good choice, or I think Maille. I can't pronounce it. It's Maille, male. I don't know.
Sure.
Some French word. It's some French word. Probably actually only pronounce the M. That's whatever. Very good mustards. They're nice. Put like a tablespoon or no, a teaspoon of very small amount of the mustard, like a little bit on a fork. Get a nice either balsamic vinegar would be good, or a white wine vinegar, apple cider vinegar. Get a nice one, and then some olive oil. Very simple. Whisk it together. You gotta whisk it though, because you have to emulsify the olive oil and the vinegar. They won't mix together if you just stir it. And then maybe some pepper, and if you like salt, use salt. And then, so for the salad though, we've got arugula, right?
Underrated leafy green. This
it
is
has
the
so much
best
flavor.
tasting roughage you could possibly get.
I would just eat it on its own.
Me too.
It's so good.
Well,
yeah,
I would
so
do maybe
tasty.
a little bit of like a lemon drizzle on there.
Yeah, no, of course. I do that quite often, just arugula, lemon, and olive oil. It's a nice complement to almost any meal. But yeah, so you have your arugula, obviously. I think a nice goat cheese is very nice with arugula.
Some
chèvre. You chop that up, chop that baby up, throw it in the salad. Some nice, if you can find some walnuts, you crack them open. If you throw them in the toaster oven for not too long, maybe a couple minutes or so, until you don't want to burn them, obviously. You would just want to lightly toast them. Throw those in there. You could throw, I think this is a little out there. I think you could chop up some strawberries, though, to cut the acidity if you have a white wine vinegar or something. I wouldn't do this with balsamic vinegar. I think you'd end up getting way too sweet of a salad. But if you throw some finely chopped strawberries in there, a little bit of onion is nice, and a salad, I think onion's really great in salad. Or shallots. Shallots are really great in salads because because you usually have them raw, and they're not as harsh as an onion. So I think that's a very simple salad. You don't have to do the strawberry. It could just be those things: onion, walnuts, and goat cheese, and arugula, of course. I think that would be a really good salad. And then I also have for dessert, Yvonne, unless you have a salad for me, but we've covered.
Good enough.
I covered salad. All right. I think a very, very simple dessert that's something you can only really have during the August days of the year, because peaches are only in season in August. You can probably find a pretty good peach in July. Who knows? That's a nice cat. For those audio listeners, Yvonne has brought the cat on the stream. There's no stream. Cat on the podcast. But peaches are best in August. And obviously, people who live in Georgia know. They're best in August, right? I love peaches. They're my favorite fruit at all times. Or no, only during August. But yeah, so very simple. I would just eat a peach on its own. But to really send the message home, you're having a peach, you slice it, put the slices down. If you're feeling really fancy, you can peel off the skin, although I like the skin of the peach. And just pour a little bit of cream over it. It's really refreshing, and it tastes so good. It's so amazing. Peaches and cream. Simple thing.
It's a classic.
It is a classic dessert, but people don't make it very often, and it's so easy to make.
Now here's my question with it. So it's just cream. You're just putting cream on a peach
You can just
slice.
pour cream. You buy the heavy whipping cream, and you just pour it on there. Pour a little bit on there. Trust me, it's so good.
Interesting.
It's so good. There are other things you can do, but I think that's the easiest thing to do, and you don't have to be a fancy chef to do it.
That's true.
I like it a lot. Yeah. Yvonne,
my last hot tip for the summer.
Oh, thank God. Yes.
Is just enjoy
Stay cool.
whatever is in season.
Absolutely. I think that's a tip for eating year-round. just enjoy what's in season.
But the summer especially, because most of the things that we all crave and enjoy are in season.
Watermelon.
During the summer, like some beautiful watermelon. You can get a lot of good fruits. And
seasonal beers.
Seasonal beers are great, and just a lot of seasonal vegetables are so fresh this time of year. It's so wonderful to enjoy them.
Yeah.
Getting towards the end of the summer when you get those beautifully ripe tomatoes, which my dad grows in his garden, and I can just pluck off and eat them like apples. I'm really upset I'm going to miss that this year, but I love a fresh garden tomato.
Maybe there's some tomatoes in Turkmenistan.
Yes.
Who knows? But yeah, I definitely eat what's fresh. The summer is all about take advantage of it, you know. You can have a burger any time of the year. I suggest you have a nice tomato, have a nice squash, summer squashes there are, zucchini, yellow squash, eggplant, all those things. If they're fresh, cucumbers, if they're fresh, they're good eats, man, good eats.
For sure.
So I'm very hungry, Yvonne, so we're going to end this podcast now. But unless you have more to say.
No, my sister's gotten hungry as well. She's making food over there.
Okay. Well, Yvonne, we always end this podcast in a song in a segment called Hungover Radio. This is your chance, yes, the listener or viewer of the podcast, to send in your music to us at gaminghungover@gmail.com. You can send it to us there, or you can get in contact with us on Twitter, in the DMs, etc. You pick your way. I'm at JujuBeesGood, and he's
at Bach in the USSR.
And of course, all that information is in the description below. Don't worry if you missed it. Yvonne, we didn't get a suggestion today from a viewer or listener, unless we count you, which we do, of course, Yvonne. You suggested to me this nice cover by Ben Dan Productions on YouTube. He's got 9.6K subscribers. Go check him out. Or her, I don't know. Who knows? Most likely a guy, though.
Seems like a dude from the video.
Yes, and he made... Is that actually a video? Is it a music video?
Yeah. He's just
cool.
walking around playing a guitar. It's not anything
That's
spectacular.
pretty cool. Well, go check him out. This is a cool song. It is Game of Thrones theme, but in a Western cover. So hopefully you guys enjoy this.
A Fistful of Dollars... The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Those spaghetti westerns. Enjoy the Game of Thrones cover.
Yeah, of course. We're recording this on Game of Thrones Day.
It's the premiere
first
tonight.
Episode premieres tonight, but this will probably air 3 weeks from now. But whatever, it's fine. Hope you guys enjoy Game of Thrones. I don't watch it, but I hope you guys enjoy it and enjoy this cover. We'll catch you guys next week. I'm Julien.
And I'm Yvonne. Bye.
Bye.